Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Baseline to Baseline. I'm covering this week's college basketball. It's been the first week of the season. It's been a good week. It's been a week that had a couple of surprises and then some not so surprising. But let's get into it. First, let's talk about Wichita State, where Greg Marshall, they allowed him to resign because he was crazy, and then they, paid him his money. But I think they tried to interview 36 people, 34 of them talked, and they all had negative reports, and the other two didn't have anything to say. So that's really 36 bad reports. But anyway, you could tell by his demeanor on the sidelines that he was a little thrown off. Anyway, he's a pretty good coach though. Auburn, before the season started, self-imposed a year's probation where they will not allow their team to participate in the NCAA tournament this year, which is a travesty. Here's the idea, Auburn. Why not suspend the coach for a year? Don't fire him. Suspend him for a year until the investigation is over. Bruce Pearl's been in this situation before. You had to have a show cause to hire him. I'm sure that Chuck Person was the one that got blamed for everything, and I'm sure Chuck acted alone. Yeah, he did. Sure, you're right. Okay. Anyway, why punish the kids? Let them play. Suspend your coach for a year. And I think Bruce Pearl's a really good coach. I really do. But suspend him for a year. He's been in this situation before. Back when he pulled Tekashi 6ix9ine on Illinois and told on Deion Thomas and Coach Collins. And then he got in some trouble himself at UT and consequently cost him his job. But, why don't you do that? Why punish the kids? In the top 25 this week, Virginia lost to San Francisco. San Francisco had guards that could create for themselves and for others, and that's what beat Virginia. It was a hiccup. It's nothing to worry about. Virginia's going to be there in the end. Texas Tech lost because they haven't figured out who's going to play point guard for them. I do like the way Mac McClung has come in because he did exactly what I said he was going to do. He's going to shoot and ask questions later. That's the type of kid that can play for me. Shoot the ball, son. Don't worry about it. But they're going to have to find somebody who can play point guard. I think he's going to have to give Nadolny a chance. Kevin McCullough is out hurt right now, and I think he could play point guard too. But he's going to have to give Nadolny a chance because he's got talent. They lost to Houston, and it cost me some money, not because they lost, but because of the over-under. And Houston had a big lead and started holding the ball with 12 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second half. Thanks, Kelvin Sampson. That's why I would not send a kid to play for you, because that's what you always do. You got 5 kids that can go off the dribble and score and create for others, and you start holding the ball. Gonzaga finished the week undefeated, as did Baylor, and they were supposed to play each other yesterday, which was Saturday, but Gonzaga had a couple of positive COVID tests, and they didn't get to play. I was anxious to see them play, even though it had been just about the third and fourth games for each team, but they've both been playing well. Jalen Scruggs got hurt, and he was averaging about over 20 a game when he got hurt. And it went down to 13. He hurt his ankle, but he came back and played, but he wasn't the same. And I'm thinking that he's going to probably, be okay in the near future. He may start off a little bit around 90%, but they did get the Nembhard kid eligible, which was a surprise and a pleasant surprise because he carried them down the stretch in one game, and that's why they remained undefeated. And they've got a loaded team. Tennessee has yet to play because of some positive COVID tests, and I know they are anxious to get on the floor. They've got a top 15 team, if not top 10, top 8, but I know that they're anxious to play and start looking at each other. I think they had 2 kids that bit each other earlier in this week in practice, but I don't know. But anyway, Michigan State went down to Duke and beat Duke. Not so much a surprise because Michigan State's got a veteran team and Duke is young, and Rocket Watts played almost like Rocket Watts. And as soon as Izzo figures out that Rocket Watts is the leader on your team by scoring, the better off they'll be. I watched Rocket Watts score 60 points in a game in high school, and LaMelo Ball was on his team. And that's actually when I said LaMelo was going to be a pro because of the way he played. 60. Rocket Watts had 60. Wasn't a fluke. He is a pure scorer. Izzo may not figure it out. This week, Creighton and Kansas play. Kansas lost to Gonzaga, which wasn't a surprise. They did beat Kentucky, which was not a surprise. Kentucky is 1-3. They got drilled by Georgia Tech today because I knew what was going to happen. Pastner was going to be smart enough to throw some zone at Kentucky, and he did. And they blew him out. They blew him out. Now, don't forget, Cal said, don't get mad at those kids. Don't blame the kids. Blame him. Shoot. You ain't got to worry about that. They are going to blame you. You ain't got to worry about that. They don't blame you. But Kentucky will get it together. They're young. UNC, North Carolina, and Iowa play this week. Iowa's undefeated. Garza's averaging 34 a game. He's killing. Illinois and Duke play. Duke will get back on track and beat Illinois. North Carolina State and Michigan are going to play with Kevin Keatts at North Carolina State, Juwan Howard at Michigan going head-to-head. That ought to be a really good game. 2 great coaches. Michigan State and Virginia will play, and the Hauser brothers will be going at each other, and Virginia will beat them. Kentucky's 1-3. That's what the treatment. I'm not really surprised. Let's talk about some players that really stood out this week. Luka Garza, 34 points a game. He's getting most of the shots, but when they start to double team him, it's not going to matter because he's got a lot of talent around him, and they're going to keep rolling. They are going to keep rolling. Jason Preston at Ohio is a pro. 6'4" point guard. He is a pro. He's a junior. He's averaging 21 a game. Whoever gets him, he's going to be a great pro. Pick and roll, anything. You can't speed him up. He plays at his own pace. Kind of reminds you of me, of Andre Miller that used to play, except he's more talented than Miller. And I said, man, I don't think Miller was that good, but this kid can play. Miller turned out to be good, though, but this kid can play. Kendrick Davis at SMU, 6-foot point guard. Start off the year, 33 points, and he's been carrying that over. He's averaging 21 a game. He is made a mistake by going to TCU when he came out of high school, and he corrected it a little bit. He's at SMU, and they're undefeated, and he's leading them. Then I already talked about Jalen Suggs. Cam Thomas, the freshman at LSU, who's averaging 24 points a game. He reminds me of Andrew Toney, even though the game's not similar, but he reminds me of Andrew Toney, just can score. Marcus Carr at Minnesota, playing great, averaging 26 a game. He started his career off at Pittsburgh, playing for Kevin Stallings, and realized that Stallings was a little off, left. They brought in Jeff Capel. He decided to stay gone, which was good, because Capel, God, man, I ain't gonna say nothing. James Bouknight at Connecticut is a beast. I'd like to see him be a lead guard. That boy, he can play. He can play. I don't know if his coach will figure it out. I really don't. Charles Bassey at Western Kentucky is a beast, 15-11. How did he get in Western Kentucky? Y'all must have bought him a farm or something to get him in Western Kentucky. I don't know. Marcus Moody at Arkansas, the freshman's leading him in scoring. 17 a game, and Arkansas has a deep team. They're 10, 11 deep. He can play. They're going to challenge everybody in the SEC this year, and Musselman's a good coach. And another thing we learned when I watched Villanova play, I already knew that Jay Wright was a great coach, but I'm realizing Jay Wright is a pro coach. He is a pro coach. I'm glad he didn't take the Sixers job because we need coaches like him in college. Mike Young at Virginia Tech can coach. He lost his leading scorer, Landers Nolley, who went to Memphis to play with Penny. They said it was because Coach Young, Mike Young, wanted him to play four, played him at four, and he wanted to be a four. And the kid's not a four. The kid's a 2 or 3. I believe that he would have been a 2 or 3 this year, probably 2, if he stayed at Virginia Tech. But he's having a good year at Memphis, a good year at Memphis. I think he was there the same year at Virginia Tech, but he's having a good year at Memphis. Mike Young can coach. When he got that job at Virginia Tech, I said, they're going to finish last. They don't have any talent. He beat Michigan State. He beat some other team. I was like, and I watched him play. I was like, he can coach. Quanzo Martin has got Missouri playing well. They beat Oregon. They're 3-0. They're scoring more this year. Xavier Pinson, he had a really off game. He shot 1 of 13 today, but they still won. But he's showing confidence in Pinson. Pinson can play. And Mark Smith and Drew Smith and another Smith, they've got a pretty good team. And Quanzo's kids play hard. Juwan Howard at Michigan's undefeated. Kevin Keats at North Carolina State is undefeated. I sure would like to see Kevin Keats get some of those kids that the North Carolina and Duke get, because Keats is a good coach. He's a really good coach. Arkansas is 4-0 and roll along. But we've got a good week of basketball coming up. Some of the top teams will be playing each other. Kansas and Creighton will be playing. Creighton is undefeated. Creighton is well coached. They've got a great coach. And I really think Creighton will probably beat them. Yeah, they'll probably beat them. Hopefully, I want to get back. I had gotten up to my number 14 team in the nation, which was Oregon, who got some good news when LJ Figueroa got his eligibility. They lost their point guard. Will Richardson broke his hand, so hopefully they'll get Aaron Estrada eligible. But they've got a good team. Figueroa will make a difference, and they will be able to. They'll win the Pac-12, I believe. They'll win the Pac-12 because UCLA is good. USC is talented, but they're not as good as I thought they would be. I'm not surprised that boy can't coach. And then UCLA with Mick Cronin, I don't know if what'll come first, if UCLA will win the Pac-12 or Mick Cronin reaches puberty. He looks like a baby man, baby man. I'm sorry, Mick. You look like a grown baby in a suit. But anyway, I was down. Arthritis won out this week, and that's why I wasn't able to do any shows. So hopefully I'll be back next week for sure with the week in college basketball. But please hit like, share, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.